I think there's a problem with modern movies and series. There's just a lack of quality nowadays. Quantity versus quality is the way that it works now to get as many movies and series onto streaming platforms and into cinemas as possible, to sell as many tickets as possible. And I think since Madam Web came out, I think it has reached the peak, and I just want to say something about it because there's a problem. I think people are just so lazy now. They don't worry about making good content. They think, let's take Godzilla and let's see how many movies we can squeeze out of the idea, for example. So I'm going to start into different sections. And the first one, which is my least favorite of them, because I love video games, is turning video games into movies and shows. There are a lot of movies, for example, from 1993, we had Super Mario Bros., Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat, Lara Croft, Resident Evil, Doom, Silent Hill, Dead or Alive, Hitman, Far Cry, Tekken, Prince of Persia, Need for Speed, Warcraft, Assassin's Creed, Pokemon movies, Sonic movies, Monster Hunter, Uncharted, and lastly Five Nights at Freddy's, the most recent one that came out last year, late. And the shows that have popped up recently is The Last of Us show. Anyway, I am missing out a lot of these, but the whole point is that people wanted to make movies from the video games because instead of sitting through 8 or more hours of a video game, you can just sit and watch a movie or a TV show. And it is apparently a way to bring these games to life in a new way for a wider audience. And I kind of disagree with that because the best example is The Last of Us. They changed points of the movie. They changed the outcomes. I think her name is Tess. Let's say they kill off Tess in a different way than they do in the game. And it fundamentally changes Tess's character and doesn't make it as impactful as the game. Just things like that, especially Resident Evil, like they're known for being terrible, terrible movies or shows in comparison to the games because it's just not what the game was supposed to be, or it's not as good as the game, or they just fuck it up completely, stuff like that. But there are good examples. For example, the Pokemon show. I thought Pokemon was an anime, and then I found out, oh crap, they were games way before they were a show. And kids love the Pokemon show. Obviously, people grew up with Pokemon, and it's really cool. I know people like the Sonic show. The Sonic show that came out, apparently people like it as well. I'm not such a huge fan, but I understand people like it. Apparently Castlevania was also a game before a show, and I know people love Castlevania. I didn't have any idea it was based on a game. And like up till now, I even did research on it and I was like, oh, this is a cool show. People love the show. Maybe I should watch it. No idea it was first a game. And I think the peak best example of this is Arcane and Cyberpunk, because they took game characters and they took events and then it was almost like a spin-off, and then they just made the story come to life where it just didn't exist in the original games. And so I feel like The Last of Us not sticking to the script at all is a bad thing, but Arcane and Cyberpunk not sticking to the script makes it infinitely better because it adds something that wasn't there already, and I think that's a very good thing. And yeah, where is V? Doesn't matter where V is. It's about the cyberpunk world and the edge runners. I think that's a very good example. The next section is anime into live action. I'm gonna give a few examples because I don't know. I haven't watched that many, so I can't give a good insight as to personal experience. But like One Piece, Death Note, for example, and recently Avatar: The Last Airbender has made its way into live action. And for example, Avatar, people have been shitting on it because it's so cheesy and it's not at all the same as the original show. And I feel like they should have just, again, stuck to the script. Don't change that much. Don't add in cheesy, stupid lines. And apparently One Piece is a very good example of it sticking to the script and it ending up very well. People love that. And I'm not sure about Death Note. I think Death Note had a movie earlier on and a show recently. But people like the old one, people don't like the new one. I don't know. I haven't seen it either. So anyway, overall, it's not as bad as the other sections because people actually do care a lot about the anime more than video games. For some reason, I think people shit on video games just because they don't understand how awesome they are, you know. Hello. Moving on to books, and this is my favorite part because Lord of the Rings, Harry Potter, A Man Named Otto, a recent one I did, people have such respect for the books that they make sure that the movies are brilliant. And I know Lord of the Rings and Harry Potter are one of the biggest sensations of media. People love the shit out of those, especially Harry Potter. From collectibles to people who just want to dress up as them and whatever that sport is, that thing I'm going to show up on screen right there. People love these things, and it's because the books are so good, they won't dare make a bad movie or show about it. Because it's just, people will shit on them, and they don't understand. They don't understand. No, they do a good job. And then lastly, the last section is sequels and spin-offs. The worst example, I'm going to start off, is Fast and Furious. Why the fuck are there 11 movies in the Fast and Furious franchise? I feel like they overdo it. Star Wars is also another one. People say that the first 2 trilogies should have stopped and that the last one is crap. Doesn't matter to me because I think there are too many anyway. Jurassic Park is another one. They even made an animated spin-off. Mission Impossible, they just keep making these things. There are 2 new animated movies that are coming out. Toy Story 5? Yeah, Toy Story 5. I actually can't believe I'm saying that. And then Kung Fu Panda 4. I feel like the Toy Story movies especially, the series ended twice and now they keep going. I feel like there is a limit and people are pushing the limits. And for example, in the Kung Fu Panda trailer, none of the Furious 5 are in, which takes away from most of the great cast that they have. Examples like this, and all the millions of movies that they're spawning, and sequels this and sequel that and prequels, and they just need to stop because there is a limit as to how many movies you can make, because eventually they will be crap. And this is a good example with the Fast and Furious movies. It started with racing, and now it goes off into heists, and we even joke that they're going to send a car into space, and they do. They send a car into space. So why have we reached this point? Why make this video at all? It's because people want money. They want money so badly that they take IPs that already exist. Fast and Furious, let's make sequels upon sequels. What's a cool book? Let's make a movie from the book. Let's make a movie from anime. Let's make a movie from games. Just write something good, something original, like WALL-E and Up, Monsters Inc. Write something original, make it into a movie, even if it's books, because books seem to have that the best, because A Man Called Otto is just great, you know, something like that. Make something good. Don't just make sequels and millions of movies, bajillions of movies. We don't want to see all of these movies. We want to see good movies, at least I do. So yeah, I hope you learned something today. I just have a gripe against 10 Fast and Furious movies. I think it's 11 actually. Let's say 11 Fast and Furious movies and 1 WALL-E movie. And WALL-E is so good because there's only one of them. The story started and the story ended. It's a brilliant story. And the Fast and Furious just couldn't hold it in their pants, eh? They just had to keep making, and they ruined it, I think. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed, and that'll be it from me today. See you next time. Bye.